Are you unable to squat? If you can't, this video is for you. Being able to squat helps us to do essential activities of daily living, like picking things off the floor or just getting up and down off the floor. There are several reasons why we may not be able to squat. It could be a mobility issue, a strength or motor control issue. It could be an anatomical issue. So in terms of mobility, we're talking about tightness or inability to move at the ankles, the knees, the hips, and even the back, being able to keep that back upright as we squat down. Today, we're going to focus on the hips. I'm going to give you 3 exercises you can do to improve the mobility of your hips to improve your squat. I'm Anne, a physical therapist and holistic practitioner. These exercises are designed to be safe for osteopenia and osteoporosis, but please check with your physician before starting any new exercise program. Let's get started. So to be able to squat down, whether we're just doing squatting down to a chair or squatting all the way down to the ground, we can see that we need a lot of hip flexion. So if this motion is tight, it could be because, or it's limited, it could be because we don't have enough length in our hamstrings, we've got tight and weak hip flexors, and the groin muscles are also very tight. So one of the ways we can work with this is to start by moving to the edge of your chair with the legs a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Keeping your spine all in one line. So we're starting with our best posture position, lifting tall through the top of the head and pretending that we have that dowel on the back of our spine with everything in contact with the dowel. And we're going to bend forward or hinge at the hips all in one straight line. So we're hinging and coming forward. So we're getting that hip flexion here that will help us for our squats. You can support yourself by putting your hands on your thighs to help yourself come up. Ideally, we want to be strengthening the extensors, so coming up and down without using the hands to assist. But if you need that assistance, go ahead and do that. So we're opening up the legs and just hinging forward in one piece and then coming up. And you should feel, or you may feel, a little bit of a stretch in the inner thigh area as you bend forward and come up. So just do that about 10 times or so to start opening up the back of the hips and increasing that flexion at the hips that you need in order to come down into the squat. Okay, so the next exercise will be stretching out our hamstrings. So in this position, very convenient, just stay seated in this position, and we're just going to extend one leg out long, really getting that knee straight and tight and flexing that toe up toward the head. Now watch that your spine again stays in that nice long position here. Everything's all in one line. And from here, you're just going to hinge a little bit forward from the hip. So not from the low back, but from the hip until you feel a nice stretch. Now, for some people, as soon as they flex the foot, they'll feel a stretch back there. That's okay. Just stay where you're at. From here, I want you to flex and point the ankle up and down 10 times. So we're just flexing and pointing the ankle. This can also help for people that have sciatica symptoms. It helps to get the nerve in a more mobile place. At the end of the 10 reps, then you can just hold that position for 30 seconds. If you're not feeling enough stretch, you can come a little bit further until you feel a nice stretch, holding it there for 30 seconds, and repeat that on the other side. To get the longer inner thigh muscles that may restrict us when we're going down into a squat, you can stand with the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. From here, you're going to hinge at the hip. So remember, we've got that nice long line head to tail when we're doing the hinge. So we'll hinge from the hips and then bend one knee, keeping the other leg straight. Keep that knee in line with the second toe. So don't allow it to come in or too far out, but keep that in alignment here. Now just go until you feel a bit of a stretch in that inner thigh muscle, and you can shift from side to side. So this is more of a dynamic stretching. Again, hinging at the hip, keeping the spine all in one straight line. So just shifting your weight back and forth, feeling an inner thigh stretch. You're also getting some strengthening of the quads here. You're also getting some strengthening in the spinal extensors. So we're working on mobility and strength, all to help with your squat. Another option is to work in the squat position itself. So after you've done the stretching, you may want to come into a supported squat where you have nice alignment so that the low back is not rounded, so that the upper back is not rounded and forward, so that the whole back is upright. So you may need to come up even higher if you've got a low stool that you could use. We can try this as well for getting into a squat position in good alignment. If you've got something to hold on to, that's even better. So again, just working here on keeping the spine upright. Try to work the feet in as much as possible to start working on the mobility in the ankle as well. Feeling right on top of the sits bones. So if you're feeling off, if you're feeling rounded, you won't feel those sits bones. So work to get on top of the sits bones, lifting tall through the top of the head, and just hang out. Hang out here. Maybe that's 10 seconds for you, maybe that's 30 seconds, but time it and gradually increase the time that you are in a squat position, a passive squat position, and even make it lower and lower. So you can make it lower by using yoga blocks and then taking one away at a time. All right, so that gives you a couple options on helping to improve your squat by working more specifically on the hip mobility. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you'll be sure to be alerted when any of my new videos come out. Until next time.